So yesterday, I brought you guys updates on the fact that the High Court, Accra High Court, had put an injunction on the funeral arrangement of Kantanka that was set for today. But today, we are seeing videos, pictures from the scene of the funeral where they said that injunction it did not work there, because as it stands right now, the funeral is still being held at Gomoa. We've seen a lot of people, even some members of the Kwadwo Safo mission, the church, they are all there present to bury the man. And this has had a lot of people asking questions like, is it that they don't want to respect the court's order, or is it that the process, everything has already been put in place, and now any stop to it is just going to bring a massive loss? What exactly is the situation? Because as I'm speaking right now, social media is flooded with videos, pictures. Even Osebo is on grounds, right? And it's beginning to look like the whole funeral thing is not just for the fact that they are buried. It's beginning to look like Adjua's people are actually going ahead with the funeral. And from what is being said on the media, or what is being spread on the media, it is said that Adjua is actually the one in possession of her dad's body, that is Kantanka's body. Right, that is what is being circulated allegedly on social media. Okay, and it's being speculated that the date, that is today, was actually given to her from above. So she has authorization from above. So with or without anything that the intention people are trying to do to stop the whole thing, the funeral will still hold. And me personally, I'm kind of concerned, because we saw what doing something behind the other's back brought, where it so happened that she was shot in the process, where she tried to interrupt the brother's coronation, quote unquote. But to now see that she's holding her dad's funeral today, and I have not seen any of the siblings and all that, probably they'll come later, leaves me with the question of, will Akofena to come and try to stop the funeral, or what exactly is happening? Because right now, looking at the situation, looking at the way it is looking like they are divided, there might be an issue of, Akofena's people trying to interrupt the funeral, which I genuinely hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope and pray at this point that probably Akofena should just, like, he should just come now papa no, like, you get it. And like I said yesterday, right, this situation is becoming quite embarrassing even for them as individuals, because Adjua on the other side is a prominent member of society, Ghana. She's a very prominent person. You understand? And then her late dad is also, he's a value to Ghana, or for Ghana. You understand? So to now see this whole situation, I really hope they are able to find a middle point and actually figure out this whole situation, because Charley, the videos there just small, and just say a lot of people are actually trooping in for the funeral, right? And if it so happens that there's an interruption to the whole funeral and all that, it's actually a huge loss, because when you see the whole setup, and it's small. It's not small at all. Now, a lot of people had different reactions to this story. Some were concerned about, interruption, while others are of the opinion that probably they have gone to speak behind, closed doors to figure out the situation, because according to some, Adjua Aboka, like, she has spent money to actually plan this whole thing. So to tell her to stop would mean you people are ready to, like, pay her back what she has spent. You understand? Now, someone said, why do I get the feeling that Adjua has a special plan for her brother when he also tries to interrupt her program today? Hopefully, this funeral proceeds without any confrontation. Hopefully, because we do not want what happened previously to happen again. Because even that previous situation, the investigation, we not know, we don't know where it ended. You understand? To now see and that this is happening, one can only hope and really pray that they have just come to like a middle point agreement to do the ceremony and then just go about their lives. Another person said, whether you support it or not, this turnout shows the late founder's impact on generations. True. Really, really true. Because from what we saw yesterday, we saw a lot of the Christo Safo mission, the church members, jubilating with Akofena. But today that is the funeral, today that they are having the burial, you are seeing that people are still coming. And you can tell that it's not even about Ajua or Akofena. It is about the respect, the love they had for their father. Right? So whatever it is that they do, if today the funeral holds and tomorrow Akofena says, oh, he wants to do his own, people will still turn up in their numbers. Right? It's not about them, it's about the family name they hold. Now, another person said, the people accusing Ajwa Safo of not respecting the rule of law. If there was also an injunction during Akofena's installation and the ceremony still went ahead, then the same standards should be applied to everyone. The rule of law should be consistent and not selective. Well, you can actually say that because if we all remember when Akofena's coronation was ongoing, there was news on the fact that the court had put like a pause to it and the family was trying to figure out the whole situation. When we saw videos that they were actually doing it and that whole situation, so I get this person's point. Another person said, pray you don't give birth to children who will tarnish your image when you are no more. Another person said, so is it that people do not respect the court's injunction anymore and patiently waiting for the consequences thereof? Which consequence? The one that Omubo Ajwa to Okrano, you can tell, Charley, this thing, I genuinely feel like this thing, the law should not even involve itself. Like you can just tell that this is a fight for power and it's within the family. You understand? Like these people, they will do at the end of they will do what they want. Do you understand? I will not be surprised if Akofena comes for the funeral and they actually bury their dad together. I will not be surprised. I will not at all. I will not be surprised at all. You understand? I feel like they just need to sit down. Not like Obin Brand, like Bakum Brand Wase, na onte Bakwase. Like that is all. Because right now it's just a battle of power, of ego, of what? Another person said, may God comfort the entire Kantanka family and the Christo Safo Church in this difficult time. Let peace prevail over the funeral grounds today. The apostle deserves a dignified send-off. True. Very, very true. I said this yesterday that I can only imagine how the man is feeling. That is, if truly spirits, can feel and see things. I can only imagine how he feels, how, this whole situation looks in his eyes. It's really, really sad. And hopefully we get a positive update on this story. Probably there's no disturbance, Charlie, there's nothing. Nobody gets hurt. Like, that's the key. Nobody should get hurt. Hopefully. Anyways, this is all the updates we have on this story. Do well to tell us what you think about this situation. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This has been What's They Go On here at the Yo Charley Studios. We'll catch you on the next one.